My mother's deathbed secret destroyed my life, and my father never saw it coming. I don't really post online, ever, but I made a throwaway account because if I don't release this somewhere, my mind is going to snap. Both my parents are dead now. My father died when I was a teenager, and my mother passed away just recently. I always thought that my father's death was tragic, unfair, and random, but apparently, nothing about it was random at all. My mother told me the truth the night before she died. Her voice was weak. Her oxygen machine hissed between every sentence. And God, I wish she never told me this. She could have taken that secret to her grave, but she didn't. Growing up, I always thought my parents had a normal relationship. Normal arguments, no more bills, no more stress. But when my dad died, everything changed overnight. He supposedly fell asleep at the wheel, coming home late from work. At least, that's what the police concluded. They said he veered into a ditch and the impact unalived him instantly. Case closed. My mother didn't cry much, not like I expected. Grief does something strange to people, so I didn't question it. Then the insurance money started coming. A staggering amount, enough for my mother to buy her dream house, a luxury car, new furniture, vacation. Enough for me to feel like life finally gave us a break after years of struggles. I didn't ask questions. I was too young, too excited, and honestly, a little selfish. Imagine going from barely scraping by to suddenly living like royalty. I didn't question the blessings. Maybe that's why this has destroyed me so much. Because I enjoyed the money. I lived off of it. I built my adult life with it, at the cost of my father's life. When my mother's health started failing, I stayed with her every single day. And on her final night, she kept mumbling like she was talking to someone in the room that I couldn't see. Then suddenly, she grabbed my wrist with surprising strength, and her eyes were wide, terrified. And she whispered, "Your father wanted me to tell you what I did." My blood ran cold. I thought she was hallucinating, but she shook her head violently. "Listen to me," she said. "I can't die with this on me. I can't face whatever comes next." Then she told me the truth. My father did not die by accident. My mother planned it. But that's not even the part that broke me. Because she did not plan it alone. She had help. A man she's been secretly seeing, a co-worker, someone my father trusted. They arranged for my father's car to malfunction. They knew his route. They knew he'd be tired. They knew exactly which stretch of road will turn a malfunction into a fatal accident. She said it was supposed to be quick. She said she did not want him to suffer. She said that she only did it so we could have a better life. I sat there frozen, not breathing. I felt like I was falling through the floor. And then came the final dagger. And baby, you enjoyed the money too. We both did. She said my father had been visiting her in her dreams, blaming her, begging her to confess. She said she couldn't fall asleep the final week of her life because she kept hearing him calling her name. She thought telling me would free her spirit, but all she did was curse mine. As she took her last breath, she cried and whispered, I'm sorry I left this on you, but I couldn't carry it into the next life with me." And then she died. Just like that, leaving the entire weight of her crime sitting on my chest forever. I didn't know. I swear I did not know. But that doesn't change anything, does it? I spent the insurance money. I lived in the house but with blood. I drove the car but with guilt. I benefited 100%. Every room in my home feels haunted. Every mirror feels like it's watching me. Every time I hear a creak at night, I think it's him, my father. The man I loved, the man I thought died tragically, the man who was murdered by the woman I trusted most, and unknowingly funded my entire life. I don't know who I am anymore. I can't go to the police. I can't tell anyone because everyone involved is already dead. They'd say that I made it up, or worse, drag my father's name through the mud all over again. So instead, I'm putting it here. Because I can't carry this anymore. And to my father, if you ever read this from whatever world you're in, I'm sorry. I did not know. And I promise you, I will never spend another dollar from that curse again. Interesting. That was a very interesting story. And I do believe that your mother was such a bitch for doing that. Because what do you mean, ma'am? You waited your whole life, you spent all this money, and you got me involved in this, and that man that you were with. And then you wait until your last days on earth to tell me this so I can carry the burden now? What do I have to do with this, right? What do I have to do with this? Now I have to go my entire life knowing that you, unalive my father, used the insurance money to, you know, help our life, yes, but also my father had to basically be unalive for that to happen. And I don't understand why he would say he won't use this money anymore. I understand, but this whole time you were okay with it, even though you did not know, because what you don't know don't hurt you. Kind of does sometimes, right? But even though you did not know, now that you do know, it's not like you can just give it to charity, because a lot of times charity is just as scamming as the rest of the world. So just use the money in honor of your father. Do something great with it in honor of your father. Take care of your children with this money, because at the end of the day, you can't just get rid of the money because he's already dead. Because at the end of the day, he's just going to die for nothing if you just not use the money that was left for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, your mother was a bitch for doing that. Very, very evil woman. And she was very selfish for telling you in her last days, because now it's your burden. You know what? That's like when people randomly come tell me about their sad stories or something terrible that happened into their life. I was having an amazing day, and now all of a sudden all I can think about is this terrible story that you just tell me that I really did not want to know about, and now it's in my head. That's very selfish. A lot of people are just very selfish. They do selfish things and then drop the burden on you so you can help them carry that damn burden. I don't want nothing to do with it. That's like, someone unaliving someone and then calling you and say, hey, look, I just did this. Can you come help me? Even though if you decide not to help, I hope you decide not to help and call the police. But now that burden is on you, because why did you have to tell me about this? Now I can't even live my life normally because I know this crazy thing that you just told me that I didn't have to know about, right? That's really, really selfish that your mother did that, first of all. Can you imagine, like, your mom doing this and then finally in her last days finally telling you what